Hello and welcome or welcome back to the allotment plot. It is the 3rd of October, which means it is 5 months since I got my allotment plot, and here it is. It is really soggy today. We're expecting a storm, so I don't think I'll be able to do any filming for the coming few days, so this is as good as it's going to get for this month's allotment plot tour. And because I am going to get soggy, it's going to be quite a quick one. But I just wanted to go over how the plot is looking 5 months in at the height of autumn, and I would love to share it with you all and bring you along for a little wander around my allotment. The front of the plot has actually gone through quite a lot of change over the past month or two, and I'm actually really liking how it's looking. It's kind of become a bit of a herb border. Um, it's where I'm plonking a lot of my herby plants and flowers, perennials like verbena, and I'm just trying to make it look a little bit less scraggly, make it a bit more inviting, and I'm really enjoying how it's coming along. It's all been very intuitive. I've had absolutely no plan whatsoever, and it's just been really fun to work on it and see it evolve over the weeks. This is a specific space designated as a holding bed for the lavenders, and they haven't taken so well, and perhaps it's just because of the time of year they have apparently stopped growing. So I'm loath to put in the rest of the lavenders just in case they all die. If we get a frost or a little bit of snow, then these are going to struggle. So possibly we'll be digging these up again and potting them up and keeping them in the summer house over the winter until they're a little bit bigger, and then they can go into a holding bed and grow through the spring. And the zinnias that were potted up don't look super happy here, but one of them has taken and it's produced such a beautiful flower. It's bordering on red. It's a little bit a little bit too red than pink, but it's still quite pretty, so I don't mind it at all. The beans are going very strong, and for some reason it's putting out new flowers, so I might actually get new fresh beans throughout October, which would be quite nice. But the majority of them are going to seed, and I'm just waiting for them to dry out so that I can continue harvesting them and storing them to eat in the winter in soups and stews. And I will also be saving some for growing on next year. And there's certainly a lot of beans to save for next year. Bearing in mind that was about 8 beans worth of plants in this entire tower. It's done pretty well, and I couldn't be more proud of the beans. So definitely we'll be growing more beans next year, and I'm very excited for trying new varieties and doing a little bit more with the dwarf beans rather than the tall, long French beans. Yesterday I cut down a lot of the courgettes and removed all the mildewy leaves and deadheaded my cosmos. So this bed is looking a little bit more under control and a bit tidier, and the cosmos are just so gorgeous. You all know by now, if you watch my videos, that I adore my cosmos and they never cease to make me so happy every time I see them. I'm so obsessed with them and all of their different colours and shapes, and they're just so pretty. There's just so many of them. I'm so lucky to have such a beautiful display of cosmos this year. This has been one of my dreams for so long, to have so many cosmos in my own garden space, and to be living this this life is absolutely incredible and nothing short of special. Every time I come onto the plot, I am just reminded how grateful and uh, lucky I am to be living this life and having this opportunity to grow my favourite flowers and vegetables and have my own area to just play around with, learn some new skills, make mistakes, learn from them, and share it with all of you as well. One of the biggest successes of the plot has been the tomatoes. Again, there's only 5 plants in here, but the amount of tomatoes I have harvested has been astounding, and they're already going into the freezer because we can't eat them fast enough. So I have been so happy with the tomatoes this year. They are splitting because of the torrential rains that we're having now, so the watering has become inconsistent, which means they're just getting a little too juicy for their skins. But I am still getting plenty of fruits, and I expect I'll still be harvesting them for a good few weeks yet. My broccolis are doing really well. I think the time for the caterpillars is almost over, and even with some damage, they are still incredibly healthy looking, and I think I will be alright over the winter, and hopefully they will produce some broccolis. And actually, one of them already is producing some flowers, which has surprised me a little bit because I feel like it's a bit early for the broccoli is to be flowering, but I'm going to see how this goes, and hopefully it will be edible. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it. It needs to be a bit more purple before you pick it, but you also don't want to wait until the flowers bloom because then that'll be too far gone. The raised bed is producing some good stuff. It's mostly beetroot, and there are some carrots in there as well, and these will be something that I can harvest a little bit further into the autumn when all the summer fruits are well and truly over. And I mentioned that these beans haven't done as well as the other beans in the bean bed, just because they went in a little bit at the wrong time. They've done their best, but just not established as much, which is a shame, but a good lesson learned for next year. But they are still doing something, so credit to them for having a go. My strawberry beds are completely done and ready for next year. I am getting strawberries still, which is really exciting. The only thing is, this is a nightmare to weed. There are so many weeds that have come up in this one, and it's a little bit of a faff getting in the hay and weeding it all, so I need to keep on top of this over winter, but it's that's definitely a future me's problem. I'm not going to sort that out right now. And I still have some courgettes coming out, which is very exciting. As of yesterday, the sweet pea wall is no more, and that is a huge change. Considering this was, I think, the second project I did after the strawberries. So yes, this looks completely different than 1 month ago. This isn't, again, how it's going to be looking permanently, but for now I've just got this little setup going and it's working for me. I actually quite like it, so it's still doing something. It's not as aesthetically pleasing because I can see the water tank, so I think that's going to give me a bit of encouragement to figure out what I'm going to do to hide that. So yeah, that's just one really big change that's happened in the last month. The garlic bed is a totally new addition this month, and I've already got my garlics coming up, which I am thrilled about. So I didn't plant them too early, which I'm really glad about. I still have plenty more to go in once the courgettes are done, and there are also 4 rows of onions here, but no sign of them just yet. And these are the ones that I feel like I might have planted a little bit too deep, but if the garlics have come up, then that does give some good indication that the onions might also come up very shortly. So fingers crossed, watch this space, we might have some onions in a few weeks' time. The produce side of the plot is looking so good. I'm so proud of everything I've achieved with this, and all of the fruits I've been harvesting, all of the veggies, the beans, the courgettes, the tomatoes have just been so delicious, and it's been a great year for them, but also I feel like maybe they taste even better knowing that I grew them and that 5 months ago this was just a completely barren, scrubby, grey, beige piece of land. So I'm so thrilled with the progress that's been made here, and yeah, sure, it looks a bit scrappy still, but it's just so pretty in my eyes. It really is. It is pretty. There are pretty aspects to it at least. And then we come to the wild side, completely the opposite. And the pile behind me was referred very kindly to by one of the trust people um, as looking like a shed blown up. Which is incredibly accurate, and I can't blame him for saying that because it does look like a shed has actually blown up back there. So let's have a look and see what progress I've made over on the other side of the plot. I have sown the green manure and it's definitely coming out. I can see things that I don't recognize as weeds, which is very exciting, and it's growing quite quickly. So I will at least have this patch under control over the winter. And what that's going to do in spring is add a lot of good nutrients into the ground when I rake it over. And then I can sow my flower seeds, make my beds, and actually make this area a little bit more designed rather than chaotic. The second patch of green manure seeds are growing. I don't think I've got as many seeds in here because there's little patches where there's nothing. And I'm also experiencing issues with burrowing creatures like moles. And also there are some partridges which I think are eating my seeds. So this patch is struggling a little bit and I think I'll need to sow a bit more seed. Um, and hopefully I'll get this looking a bit more like that side. Now that autumn is here and winter is on its way, I'm definitely realizing how important perennials are for the plot. So I'm starting to get some shrubs in, and hopefully they'll just add a little bit of interest and structure when all of the annuals die down. I'm just trying to figure out where exactly I want to put things. So some things are still in their pots so that I can take them out if they're not quite in the right place. And I'll just move stuff around as and when I feel like it. Nothing's really permanent. I'm just kind of trialing stuff and seeing how I vibe with it, essentially. There's no real structure or strategy to any of this whatsoever. My singular squash is growing really well. It's about a female size 7 and looking really good. Very excited for this squash. The plant's starting to look a little bit funky with its yellow leaves, so it might be that it's going to die very soon, but I might get something out of it yet. We never know. I will keep hoping. And the final part of the plot, which was the first flower bed that I made, is going over to seed now. I've collected so many seeds already and there's still thousands on there, but I'm just letting this one go over and concentrating on the one on the other end of the plot. But there are still new things coming up every time I come here, like this daisy plant. I can't remember what this is called. The big daisy. Is it an oxeye daisy? Is this an oxeye daisy? I'm not sure, but it's very pretty. And it's just lovely seeing new things still 5 months later and in October as well. I just don't expect ever to see flowers in October, but turns out there's quite a lot of them. So this is it. This is the allotment after 5 months of work, and I am thrilled with the progress that I've made. I'm excited about what's coming next, and still a little daunted about the amount of stuff I have yet to do. I think there's a bit of a misconception in that gardening is a summer job, and in the winter everything's dead and there's nothing to do. Um, that's absolute nonsense because there is so much to do, and there are still plants that will grow in winter, and there is a lot of tidying up to do and a lot of preparation for next year. Next year's garden isn't going to look anywhere near as good without the efforts you put in over autumn and winter. So I have still heaps to do, and I'm going to be struggling to get outside a little bit more just because of the weather and it being a little bit darker and me liking my bed a bit too much. But having the allotment is definitely going to give me the impetus to go outside and get a lot more fresh air in the winter, which I think is going to be really beneficial, just for general mental and physical well-being. And I'm really, really glad that I got the allotment when I did, because it's given me 5 months of preparation, I guess, mentally and physically. I know what to expect. I know what's coming next year, and it's got me started. So I just now need to continue, and hopefully it won't feel as difficult to get out of bed in the mornings and come to the plot when it's pouring with rain, as it is a little bit today. So I'm really, really pleased with the last 5 months, and as always, I'm so grateful to have so many of you joining along with me, and it's been a pleasure to share my allotment with you, and I hope I will be sharing the next 5 months or 5 years with you as well. So we'll see how things go. But for now, thank you so much, so much for joining me on my little allotment, and I hope you enjoyed seeing what I have got up to. And until next time, as always, stay calm and carry on growing. Bye!